I'm dumping my boyfriend over his weaponized incompetence.
He's just a silly, goofy, incompetent man.
I, 24 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 27 male, for 2 years long distance. We don't live together, but due to our demanding jobs, we try to see each other at least 3 times a month. Overall, I can say many positive things about our relationship. However, things took a turn a few weeks ago, and I can't seem to forgive him. By the way, this comes from Throw RA Tickets, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. For context, I'm very much a type A person. I need everything planned and to be in order. However, since I'm always planning things, with friends, boyfriend, or at work, I get worn down pretty quickly and it takes a toll on my mood. He, on the other hand, is very laid back and goes through life with a it is what it is attitude. So naturally, it has always been me who's been planning activities, booking places to stay, sightseeing, and holiday all throughout our relationship. A year ago, boyfriend got me tickets for my favorite artist, and I've been excited ever since. I still had to book transportation, hotel, and plan activities though, but I didn't mind as long as we could get to see the artist in time. Spoiler alert, we missed the concert because boyfriend booked the tickets for a different day and we couldn't get a refund. Safe to say, I've never been more disappointed in my life. I still feel physically, emotionally, and financially drained, and that I can't rely on him. I decided we needed to go on a break, and I've been talking with my friends and my therapist about what to do. My therapist said that I'm processing it as a betrayal and a breach of trust. My friends are telling me it's up to me if I want to continue the relationship, but if they were in my shoes, they couldn't trust him with anything ever again. I understand that it's a mistake anyone could have made, and in the end, it's not that serious. He has apologized about 1,000,000 times and feels very sorry about how he let me down. But at the same time, all this pent-up frustration that's inside me keeps reminding me he had one job and still managed to ruin the experience for me. Of course, not everything is black and white. Besides this character flaw, he is a very good boyfriend. Kind, funny, and we have the same opinions on politics, human rights, etc. Basically all the serious life stuff. I can't seem to get over this mistake though. We were planning on getting married and spending the rest of our lives together, yet I don't want to end up being the only one pulling the weight. Advice would be greatly appreciated. There seems to be some confusion regarding booking and tickets. There were 2 concerts. One was happening on the 31st, and second was on the 1st. Boyfriend told me we had tickets for the second concert, so I booked everything in accordance to that. Then on the 1st, he realized we had tickets for the 31st. So the day after we were supposed to attend the concert. Also, only he had access to the tickets. Hope that clears it up a bit. Edit 2. So far, I've seen people from 3 stances in the comments. Break up with him, or I will have to manage him for the rest of my life. Give him a chance with a set of boundaries, or I'm actually neurotic and he should break up with me. I've done some introspection and considering all the facts, uneven mental load, distance, how long we'd still be apart, my reaction, I've drafted a message explaining how I felt, highlighting how much I still care about him. I've also written a few questions to ask him about the future of our relationship. He probably thought a lot about our relationship as well, and if he doesn't want to be with me, I'm not going to force him. I'll ask him probably next week. Not sure if anyone wants an update on that though. Overall, the situation has saddened me and I feel extremely uncertain about my future. We have some relevant comments, but
Yeah, I don't know. If you're long distance and you're not on the same page about basic things or a lot of things, it's
Yeah.
gonna make the distance even worse. And then at that point,
You start
what are you in
resenting
it for?
Yeah. If you're doing long distance, you're looking forward to your partner, and if it's gonna be stressing you out on top of the stress from long distance,
it shouldn't be.
it shouldn't be stressing you. I mean, long distance is stressful.
We have a downvoted commenter. Is that all it takes for you to not trust him? So things didn't go as planned. So what? You're both alive and able to laugh about it and stick together to fix it. And the first thing that I would do is the therapist is right. You are feeling betrayed, but it happens. He's not betraying you. You feel that way because you talk about him like he has betrayed you. And you never go to your friends for advice unless they are living the life you want, because what do they know? They're not in the same place you are. And if your life is built on planned and organizations, you can get it together with your man, then I'd say your love is on a conditional basis, and that ain't right. Top priority planner. OP replied, I understand that, but as I said, I've been the one planning pretty much everything, and the one time he planned the trip, he couldn't bother checking the exact date for a year, and I still had to book everything without his help. It makes me feel alone, disrespected, and that he doesn't care about me. This planned trip got my hopes up. I made us matching t-shirts and have been talking about it for a year. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Commenter 1 says, I'm kind of confused why you'd book everything without checking the dates of the tickets first. This seems like a bit of an odd hill to end a relationship on, as both are at fault unless I'm missing something. In general, though, if the relationship is making you this frustrated, then you're probably just not compatible anymore, and that's perfectly fine. And OP says, he told me the date, but it wasn't the correct one. He thought we were going to see the artist on the 1st, but we actually had tickets for the 31st. He checked the tickets the day after our supposed concert. Before that, he hadn't checked them for an entire year, yet kept telling me the concert was happening on the 1st. Also, only he had access to the tickets. Hope that makes a bit more sense. And then OP responds to a longer comment regarding if she is really compatible with her boyfriend. Are they on the same page together when it comes to planning dates or holidays? And OP says, thank you for your kind words. I do believe the relationship isn't simply black and white. While being with him, I believe we both grew as people and gave each other strength. I also don't want to dictate everything we do. I'm not some kind of control freak, even if this post might make me out to be one. We had similar issues regarding planning a holiday. I had to choose the destinations, accommodations, search for fun activities we could do that we'd both enjoy, and when asking about his input, I was met with, I don't care as long as we're together, and other, in my opinion, passive comments. I expressed to him jokingly, we can compromise and he is allowed to share his opinion or plan an activity, but I never confronted him head on, so that might have been a mistake on my part. At first, it was attractive to me that he didn't stress about things or out of his control, and I felt grounded by him and more at ease. But this mindset can't be applied in these serious circumstances. Other than that, the relationship's been nice so far, but I feel like this fiasco has shown me I can't really rely on him. I feel disrespected and defeated. I'm very emotional right now and don't want to make a serious decision, hence why I asked for an unbiased opinion. Commenter 2 said, is he laid back at work? Does he forget dates and miss work deadlines? Or is it just with you? And OP responds, I actually have no idea, but his work is very serious and he uses a planner, so I doubt he has problems with the dates at work. In his personal life, I had to remind him of his sister's birthday, even though he has it marked in his planner. I'm starting to think he's bad with dates in general. We have another downvoted commenter. Please free this man so he doesn't have to deal with some neurotic woman he harbors intense bitterness over, an honest mistake to the point she needs to put the relationship on hold. It must be absolute heck being OP mentally. And OP says, I'm not everyone's cup of tea and I know how to let loose. In regards to serious matters like doctor's visits, traveling, or holiday, I want them planned so I minimize possible stressful situations that are out of my control. We've had issues in the past and we communicated about them calmly. It's very bold of you to assume I'm neurotic just because I want to be responsible and actually enjoy the event my boyfriend got me as a gift.
What would be nice in this scenario is if we knew the people, like if we knew of the people or people of the people, so we can kind of understand the dynamics. Because I mean, someone's work life is really stressful and it's really hard to keep up with dates. And like, it's like, oh, what happened to August? We're halfway through. What happened to that?
Yeah, I do think though, like, you can always find time for something to do. Like,
if it's important to you,
right.
Of course.
If this is super important to him and he feels actually really bad about the concert, he should be planning some date to be like, I'm so sorry that I messed that up. Let me. And it doesn't have to be another trip. It can literally just be like, the next time we hang out, I will plan the weekend. Like, you've expressed that you're upset. I will plan something.
It seems like he doesn't take any initiative for like anything really, which again, is what we're getting from OP. He even misses his sister's birthday, which like the guy's bad with dates. He doesn't know, even though he writes it down. He still doesn't know.
Commenter 3. I would ask if I've brought up this issue before and think back on how he's responded. Same with the apologizing. Is it acknowledging the wrongdoing and vocalizing steps to do better? Or is it simply, oops, that's how I am, forgetful and irresponsible? I'd also compare if the go with the flow is the same when it's his thing. Like, if he forgets to do his own things that are important to him, it may be forgetfulness or some ADHD kind of thing. And OP says, I've brought it up before. Only jokingly, though. Something along the lines of, you can also voice your input or plan something. You don't have to be afraid of me. So that's been a mistake on my part. In regards to apologizing, he said he's sorry and that he effed up multiple times, that he'll fix it. But the artist won't come to our area anytime soon. So for now, I think those are just empty promises. I don't believe he has ADHD, but I'm not ruling it out completely. He also books buses and trains for him, often very last minute. But regarding his trips abroad, he plans everything. Long story short, we broke up amicably. I omitted a lot of details and lied about our personal lives just so I could get truly unbiased opinions. To tell the truth, I'm a med student, got into med school a bit later because, well, life happened. He's just finished law school. At the time of the concert, I had to study for my anatomy final and could not have any distractions. but I told myself that the concert would be a treat to myself during this tough period. We had arrived at his friend's place where we'd be staying, and to be honest, I've never felt so unwelcomed and out of place in my entire life. Me, my boyfriend, let's call him Jim, his friend Jane, and her boyfriend John decided to go to a restaurant in the evening. And Jane basically didn't acknowledge me for the entire evening. Every time Jim had to leave the table, Jane would turn to John and pretend I wasn't there. I then heard her say that after dinner, she'd like to go get something cheap and sweet to eat, to which I proposed a certain shop in the city we were in. Jane replied that it smelled there. After asking her how did the shop smell, she looked me in the eyes, laughed, and said it smelled like poor people. When Jim returned, I took him inside and told him what Jane had said to me, to which he just laughed. For the rest of the evening, it was clear I was sticking out from the group because the conversation topics were about things I had no knowledge about, so I couldn't participate in them.
And they intentionally made it about that. Because, I mean, you've been in group settings where you know what you can talk about and usually to clue people in.
Yeah.
Or
They
you could
give you no context.
Or you correlate. You're like, oh, like when Carly met Sophia, you guys like musicals.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Friends. Something. Just something. Like, oh, you guys like food? What's your favorite food?
So I sat in silence until we came back to Jane's flat. I then cried in the shower. I felt completely useless, like the evening would have gone exactly the same whether I was there or not. The next day, the ticket incident happened. Jim checked the tickets and realized he booked them for the day before. I tried to get the tickets and was contacted by a scammer and got scammed around 80 euros. I already talked to police, but they put the investigation on hold. During this time, Jim kept repeating how stupid he was and that he would fix everything, just didn't know how. The artist won't come to our country anytime soon, by the way. Jim also never said how he would prevent similar mistakes from happening again. After that, I didn't speak to him for almost 2 weeks and took to Reddit. In the end, I decided to give him one last chance and said probably both of us should work on our communication. He said he didn't expect me to give him another chance, didn't know how to react. So he thought it over for 12 plus hours and didn't contact me. During this time, I kind of emotionally accepted that he didn't want to be with me anymore. The next day, Jim agreed to give it another try, but the excuses started. He kept telling me he would be jobless during the summer, money would be tight, we wouldn't be able to travel anywhere, that I should enjoy my summer, etc. To me, it sounded like he wanted an out, but didn't want to be the bad guy and propose the breakup. Come to find out, he wasn't as broke as he was telling me, because he attended a film and music festival. Doing the math, he probably spent around £300. So I messaged him that I'm tired. He didn't even say sorry after Jane insulted me, and I didn't see him making any effort in planning our future and owning up to his mistakes. We wished each other well, we would be open to communication if we ever crossed paths again, and I now feel like somebody close to me passed away. Rationally, I know I did the right thing, but I've never broken up with anybody amicably before, and grieving this relationship is extremely hard on me. Thank you all for reading. Take care. By the way, you can always take care to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcast app, and search OK Storytime. Commenter 1. Breakups suck, even when they're the right decision. Let yourself grieve the future you wanted. Cry. Watch movies that make you cry more. It will get easier. I hope your finals went well. And OP says, yes, thankfully I passed. Thank you for your kind words. Commenter 2, breakups always suck, but you definitely did the right thing. Anyone who would laugh at Jane saying the place you suggested smells like poor people is not someone you want to build a life with. OP responds, I don't want to indulge in this whole classism thing, but to be honest, Jim comes from a worse financial situation than me. Jane has generational wealth, and I think he didn't confront her because he would lose access to the perks of being her friend. After thinking about that moment so many times, I couldn't come up with any other explanation. And OP responds to a longer comment regarding the future of her relationship with Jim. OP says, I told him I needed to think about the future of our relationship and we should limit contact. Both of us had finals coming up, and to be honest, I didn't want any distractions. We exchanged a few texts, wished each other a good luck on our exams, but we were not on speaking terms as before. It wasn't intended as a punishment, but a deep thinking about all the emotionally draining things that had happened in such a short time. Looking back, I know I should have done things differently, so I'll keep it in mind moving forward. And someone asks, are OP and Jim different nationalities? OP says, we're the same nationality, but I study in a neighboring country. If either one of us want to visit the other, it would take 2.5 to 3 hours of travel. Comment 1. I am the tickets boss in my relationship, while boyfriend is the traveler czar. And this situation is just avoidable. Ticketmaster/Live Nation will add your ticket date and time automatically to your Google or phone calendar. Every time he asks, when is blank again? I pull up the app and check, even if I know it by heart. I send screenshots after buying. This sounds like a lot of work, but it's probably 3 minutes total of my life. Alone, it's obviously not breakup worthy, but as a pattern, which it seems to be, I'd break up too. Comment 2 says, oh, so the guy uses a planner at work because he works in a law firm where deadlines are crucial and obviously does fine. But at home, he cannot even remember his own sister's birthday? Yes, I take weaponized incompetence for 500, Alex, and that really doesn't exclude him just innocently messing up the date. He just got too used to it.
That's a wrap on that.
My girlfriend is getting married to someone else, and I'm going to intervene.
I don't think she's your girlfriend, bud.
I am 29 male, and I met someone, 27 female, in November 2023. We were from the same school, same class, but we were friends at school. She stayed at Whaler, and I, after 12, moved to Delhi. Now there was a reunion of my school. 10 to 15 people came, and I was really nostalgic. I have gotten work from home, so I have some free time now. I followed her and replied to her story. By the way, this comes from user coolprompt4955, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. He was nice, gentle, and very respectful. We connected instantly. Similar movie or show interests, similar expectations from the government, similar life expectations, similar sports interests. When I go in, I go all in. So talking and talking, we got close. At her home, their family was looking for marriage. At my home, I got some rishtas, and I am terrified of marrying a stranger, and I am an average-looking guy, so I can't rely on love to find me. She was a contractual teacher at a school. After school, we went to a movie, coffee, kind of like a date. My first date, it was magical. She was magical. She lied at her home to meet me. I started to like her. She was pretty. I could never get a girl that beautiful and with everything else similar or to my interests. I was glad. I said to her straight away that I really like you. Like really, really like you. And you are the one I was looking for all this time. Then she told me that we have the same gotra. Both are Brahmin. I am from Uttar Pradesh. She is from Madhya Pradesh. My father had a job, that's why I stayed in MP for 20 plus years. And her father won't allow a love marriage. My family's very good and supportive, so I never imagined how anyone can run over her daughter's happiness. I thought we would meet and things would work out. I said all this to her, and she said, I know nothing will happen for us, as her father is very rigid, orthodox, and short-tempered. I said, we will see about that. I consulted multiple pandits for this, got to a conclusion that yes, it is possible. It happens in society. Not going to get into details. I was talking to her like we used to, but we started to get closer. We went to another movie. She didn't express her love or feelings for me. We tried to meet every chance she got. One day she came out to get some groceries, and then the entire area was blackout due to some fault. We met, and I hugged her. She was shivering. My heart was pounding. It was the best moment of my life. Then at night, she told me that yes, she loves me, but she has a past. She had a boyfriend earlier who she was physical with. I told her, that's all right. We all make mistakes, and I accepted her. Now we are meeting daily after her school. Once we got an opportunity to meet at my home, we had 10 minutes time. We kissed. It was the first time for me. I was happy that I found the love of my life. I was on the moon. We had video calls every night, text, and audio calls all day. She told me about her past. Her first boyfriend was in class 12, so I don't count that. After that, 6 to 8 months before meeting me, she met a friend of her cousin, approved by her father. She put her all into this specific person, crossed all boundaries for him. Then she got to know that he already had a school sweetheart, whom he had promised marriage. She asked him to choose one, her or the marriage. He didn't choose her. At that point, she felt rejected. Not enough for anyone. Full of self-doubt, crying all day. 6 to 8 months later, this is where I jumped in. She always held back in my case, never putting her 100% in so that I wouldn't get hope she would fight someday. She told me at some point, if I ever love someone too much, I will run from here. Her family's close-knit. She has an elder sister. She's the boldest in the family. Everybody else accepts what the father says. But she never took a stand for her, ever. I told her this is the most important part of my life. You can take a stand. And she told me that they will say so many bad things, and there will be chaos all around. Drama. Her freedom snatched away. She said she can't. Then her father pressured her for one rishta. I've been living in panic and anxiety for a year now. It got canceled by God's grace. 2 to 5 rishtas would be put down in the future. Then she planned for the first time to go alone to Bhopal to visit her cousin. Her father obviously didn't allow it. She left food and locked herself in a room. Her uncle gave permission, and her father reluctantly agreed. I also tagged along. Her cousin, female, herself is in love with a friend who got married, but she's still in contact with him. No one told my girl that this is a good guy. He is doing everything. You should at least try to fight once. It's better than regret.
Have you guys actually established that you're boyfriend, girlfriend? Has she called you her boyfriend?
Yeah, does she know that
Does she know
she's
you're
your
dating?
girlfriend?
You guys talked about it, right?
Have you been introduced in her family? For her, people's opinions who are close to her matter. Instead, she was told by her cousin that she was doing wrong to this guy and clearly can't fight and win this. So, my girl, on the 1st of January 2025, on our way back in the train, told me that she doesn't love me. It was a mistake. She was broken and she needed healing. And being around me was soothing, but it wasn't love. I was torn to pieces, but she kept in contact as a friend, breaking the bond slowly, fading away slowly. Her marriage was about to be fixed. I told my family. My dad consulted a pandit and said it is possible. Let's visit them. But she wouldn't allow it. That Rishta got delayed due to some things. We approached via Shadi.com. I told my father and mother to lie about Gotra, that our ancestors settled in XYZ Brahmin village, but we have a different Gotra, ABC, than yours. We just write your surname. It is common in UP. It is called, I can't read that. My mom and dad were reluctant, but they did all this just for me. Her father visited our home. He was impressed, but had 3 doubts. Who will verify in UP? Different Gotra thing, never heard of it, and the boy doesn't have a government job. He said if there was only one issue, he would have considered it. He said, why to consider it, as they are getting other rishtas that fulfill all their checklists. He said it cannot be done. After all this, my girl told me that if we could put everything on hold for 1 more year, there's a chance her father would consider me. I was full of joy. I stayed with her, but I was a stranger and had to build things up again. I helped her with schoolwork, stayed with her even after the coldness. Then her teacher government exam came. I was with her, helping with studying, preparation, test series, etc. I put my full efforts so that she could clear it and get out of there. There were 0 efforts from family. They were like, she can't do it. We already know it. But her exam went well. Her father then put extreme pressure to marry the guy that was on hold. She stopped talking to her father for 3 months. Her mother and sister also took her father's side. She was all alone, but she had me. We grew closer again. She told me, I don't love you was just to push me away so I could be saved from all of this. We were really close. And she said to me, I don't know when this will all end, but I will walk with you as long as I can. At this point, from all the ups and downs, I was numb inside. Her father hugged her, and all that resolved in a second. We had some unnecessary arguments that made her lose the peace she felt with me. I started patching things up. But now another Rishta came. This person was approved by her father, and their family is open-minded like ours. The boy is good, and she said yes to it, saying, this is my best option, and whatever I do, my family will allow me to be alone rather than marry you, and I can't leave my family. It came as a shock to me. She said, I love you. I tried my best, put down 5 to 6 rishtas, sent my father to your home, but I don't have energy to fight any longer. I really love this girl, put all my power into making things work, visited every major temple in hope of a miracle. Now, she is getting married on my birthday in November 2025. I'm getting torn inside, and I am passing away every second. I don't know what to do. I want her. It was the first time anyone loved me for who I was. I don't want to live life being passed away from the inside. Any suggestions, thoughts, support is all I seek. I don't know how to be with myself, and I still have some hope of a miracle, but it is fading day by day. There's an update. I'm going to her home and telling her father all the truth and requesting him. Is this something I should do? No.
Nope.
No. Stop. Nope. She already found someone that she's like, that is
Yeah.
who I want, and that's like what my family is okay with.
I'm good. I want
good.
this. Yeah, I don't want to give up my family for this. Yeah.
And we have some comments. Comment number 1. She doesn't want to marry you. Do you really think going to her father and effing up the arrangement is something she wants? Or is at least willing to go ahead with? To keep him happy will make her fall back in love with you? Assuming it ever really was love and not just her being flattered by your attention? There's someone else out there who won't be this much work or drama. But you're not going to find her if you keep chasing after this lost cause. Let her go. OP. She said she wants to, but with her parents' blessings. It's a facade. It was a nice thing to just be like, my parents won't let me marry you. She doesn't want to say no and tell you flat out because she doesn't want to be mean.
And also, like, yeah, she dated you for a little bit, but she always told you, this is how things are done in my family.
Yeah.
This is how things are done. This has a limit.
She's tired of fighting with her family to deny any incoming rishtas. She will if her family says yes, but she doesn't have the courage and energy to fight for this time. That's a lot of words that still ultimately add up to you need to look at what she's doing or not doing, not the part where she's trying to protect your feelings or keep you around for emotional support or whatever's prompting her to stay in touch, despite being months away from marrying someone else. Again, if she doesn't want this enough to deal with her dad, you going over her head will not result in the outcome you want. Move on. Comment number 2. Give up. She doesn't really love you, and what you feel is closer to infatuation than love. You're pursuing an ideal and feel desperate. The way you speak about yourself isn't the one of a man with enough self-esteem. You better move on and work on yourself instead of chasing for a woman who at best sees you as a second option. I know these are hard truths, but you need to have hard truths to realize what's going on.
Right.
Because
You also risk a lot of her own, like, family life and, like, even probably her potential actual, like, upcoming marriage if you go out to her. Like, you are hurting her when you're saying that you love her. Like you said, if you really loved her this much, you would just let her do what she needs to do and leave.
just focus on yourself, what the comments said. Do not intervene in this marriage. You've tried 1,000%, not 100, 1,000%. She has done the bare minimum, and she keeping you like a little puppy.
I don't know. I feel like she tried as much as she could and she was pretty open, but there is there is a lot of rules against women getting
That's
to pick
very
their
true.
own marriages.
But it just seems like he loves the attention from OP.
I think that she should have left it at the first time of, like, I don't love you, this is what I'm telling
She
you to
was
get you
going
away.
through like
But then
5 to
her
6
father supposedly came back and was like, I would consider it. Then she tried to give it some hope to it. But it's a lot, but ultimately, like, dude, like, move on.